Mrs. Mala's worship is the grandmother to the minor children that were kidnapped, worship.
But is she then a complainant in the matter? Because you said he must refrain from mentioning the name of the complainant. I'm asking, on which count is she a complainant?
Court please, worship, wrong choice of words, worship. She is a grandmother to the minor children that were kidnapped, worship, yes.
And that makes her what?
A guardian, worship.
Because I may be wrong. By virtue of being a grandmother, it doesn't automatically make one a guardian. It could be that if the minor children still have either a father or a mother, the mother or the father could be the guardian, unless otherwise the circumstances are different. But you would have to address me on that aspect for me to satisfy myself whether or not she can be classified as a guardian or not.
God bless us, worship. Just a minute. God bless us, worship. She is the grandmothership to the minor children. Number 2, she is also a witness worship and has made a statement in the docket worship as per 18 worship.
Just a second, there's something that I'm looking for here. Yes, sir.
Can I ask permission for
Yes.
this particular issue of guardian?
Yes, you may proceed.
Your worship, desperate action, trying to make sure that the first accused is kept in prison unlawfully. It's painful, your worship, when the court has already made a decision whose children are they. Personally, your worship, I've been before the children's court in the same premises or in the same area but in another court.
Yes.
Your worship, There is a court order dated 18 September 2024. Just to put it on record, Your Worship, it's an interim order.
Yes.
File 14-1-4-282/2024. Magistrate Court, Judiciary, Republic of South Africa. Name of children. Your Worship, I won't read the name of children because there is media inside.
Yes.
Order. The minor children being number 1, remain in care of biological father, Revival Motweni. Accused number 3. 2, the minor child, number 2, remain in care of the maternal grandmother, Margaret Malaza. And the court order is very clear. Number 3, the minor child, number 3, number 2, to have contact with her siblings, and the social worker, Ms. Tibia, to facilitate such contact. Your Worship, I made a mistake when I read the first order. Let me correct myself. The minor children, there are 3, Your Worship, are to remain in the care of their biological father, Revival. There are 3, Your Worship. Even the child that had remained with their maternal grandmother was given over to his father. Your Worship, as I pointed out, that their father, accused number 3, is the correct word, is the responsible parent with all the rights provided by the law, specifically Section 21 of the Children's Act. The grandfather automatically has those rights to those children. In fact, this country's court have ruled that if the children, the father of the children cannot maintain the children, their paternal grandparent tend to be responsible for that. So
my apologies, sir. I don't mean to cut you off, but I am of the view that the submissions are no longer addressing the issue before me. They are now addressing other issues. So the fact is, the state is alleging that there were bail conditions put in place by the court indicating that applicant number 1, which is accused number 1 in this instance, must not in any way, using media or any other form, mention any of the witnesses. But upon reading the record on the 12th of September, it states in simple terms, you accused number 1, it says here, accused number 1, you are to have no contact with the state witnesses in this matter. You are prohibited from entering the said primary school where the incident transpired, you are warned to appear in court. It doesn't say anything about social media. It doesn't say anything about contact. I just want us to limit ourselves to the application they are making for additional measures to be put in place to try and protect the victim in question. But at the back of my mind, the question is, if, for instance, I make an order that says he must not mention her in any podcast, how is it relative to the safety in question? Because what is done is currently done. She is fearing for her life, according to her, even though there is no formal evidence placed before me. It's just submissions. If I were to make such a condition, are you of the opinion that it would assist or not?
Your Worship, that's completely unfair to the first accused.
Yes.
Your Worship, I have already drawn your attention that as the state was alleging that he has a parental right, and correctly, Your Worship, you ask, how do they get those parental rights? Now, I have already demonstrated, Your Worship, that there is no such right. Your Worship, when it comes to the issue, anybody can allege anything. There is no threat, there is nothing that is bail condition that has been contravened by the accused. Your Worship, in this situation, Your Worship, it makes it even very difficult for one to think how could this particular situation help, Your Worship. Your Worship, can I approach?
Yes.
Thank you.
The suspects on my case. Mrs. Malas is a suspect on my case. And the church was banned for her. No, to be honest, the church was banned because Mrs. Malas had to take it out of the court. They wanted it out of the court.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Yes.
The Worship, the state has not really put a situation where it can show that the accused are a danger to the complainant, Ms. Malaza. In fact, Your Worship, it's just a complaint that does not belong to this court. It's a complaint that she talks about something that addressing the issue of another case where accused number one is a complainant and she's a suspect. So it does not belong to this particular court, and it should be addressed at the court where it belongs. In this case, I understand the prosecutor is trying to bring in issues that are of concern but have no substance. And that's my position.
I just want to understand the conduct of the accused. Is it endangering the safety of the witness by merely probably stating her name? Yes, you have indicated that there is a case of open or existing where probably Mr. Mutwening could be the complainant and the said witness could be the respondent. But the conduct in itself, would you say that it endangers the safety of the said witness or not?
Your Worship, openly, when you're dealing with addressing journalists, they deal with issues of public interest. They do not endanger anybody. Now, journalists are responsible people. They will never put in issues that endanger someone. And in this situation, Your Worship, the state is referring to professional people who have understand the principle of journalism at its best. Now, there is nothing that endangers the life of the complainant. Your Worship, I can safely say to you that since the beginning of this issue, the accused have behaved properly. They address journalists as the journalists request to be addressed by them, and they cannot hide certain things that journalists in the public interest want to know. And in that situation, Your Worship, if we curtail that, we will be going against freedom of speech and the freedom of press. The press has a responsibility to report to its readers or listeners, and the case of a radio or TV audience. So those are acting responsible, Your Worship, and if there is something wrong, we've got the press ombuds to complain to. Your Worship, it has been brought to my attention that the accused is even surprised that he ever mentioned Malaza. Yes, he may have talked about Moho, which it may mean to the same person, but the issue of Malaza, Your Worship, the accused is surprised that he has ever mentioned that.
So in other words, the identity of the said person was not described. It can only be an inference that is drawn that when a particular name is mentioned, it therefore relates to the said person.
Yes. Your Worship, this whole dispute, as we stand here, it is a dispute between family members. I don't mean to also stop you at this stage, but I feel like you are now venturing into a direction that will not necessarily assist us. Yes. As the court places. That's the situation, Your Worship, before you. There is no threat to the complainant. And the only issue is that they want to extend the bail conditions. And Your Worship, they have to give a very good ground for that extension. As for now, there is none, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss. from the state any submission after what they had indicated? They indicated that Mr. Mutwening is a complainant in a matter that relates to the burning of the church. Is he prohibited as a complainant to can discuss matters relating to that particular case, since that case is not before me?
Your Worship, State Your Worship here is talking about a witness, Your Worship. This
Yes.
Ms. Malaza, Your Worship, as indicated, is a witness, Your Worship.
Okay.
And if one, Your Worship, looks at section 64C, Your Worship, where
Yes.
it stated that I will not attempt to influence, intimidate witnesses, nor
Yes.
will I conceal or destroy evidence. Your Worship, she is indicated, Your Worship, after consultation, that she feels threatened, Your Worship, because of what she has had, Your Worship. And based on that section, Your Worship, 16.4c, Your Worship, which makes part of his application when he made before court, Your Worship, to be
Yes.
admitted to bail, she feels threatened, as she had informed me, Your Worship, that she's mentioned.
So the application is made on the basis of section 60, subsection 4, paragraph C.
Yes, and at this stage, Your Worship, the court really was not even applying that the bail be cancelled, Your Worship.
Yes.
It was merely asking this court that he refrain
Okay.
from mentioning,
Okay.
because mentioning of her name makes her feel
Okay.
threatened, Your Worship.
According to the information that you have, she was mentioned specifically as Maggie Margaret Malaza, or what is the situation? Because I don't have the information at my disposal. Do you have an affidavit from
I
her?
have an affidavit.
Okay.
Permission to read it into the record, Your Worship.
Yes.
God bless us. Katlehong case number 76/08 of 2024. Masiolo Margaret Malaza, state under oath in English. I'm an adult African female with ID number 680201063783, residing at it's her
No,
address, Your Worship.
you don't have to mention the
The
address.
address
You
and
can
the
keep
cellular
the
phone.
address. Yes.
Thank you, Your Worship. I am a witness on Katlehong case number 76/08 of 2024. The accused on the matter is Pasaka Mutwening, Pastor Mboro. The above mentioned accused was released on bail on the 12th of September 2024. The accused was given the following bail conditions by the court. 4.1. You have no contact, direct or indirect. You don't send, you don't Twitter, you don't DM, you don't contact witnesses from this case, from count 1 up until count 12. You are prohibited from entering the school you are prohibited from entering at the school, the primary school where the incident transpired. On the following dates, the 12th of September 2024, 18th of September 2024, 20th of September 2024, 23rd of September 2024, 26th September 2024, and on the 6th of October 2024, the accused, Pastor Mboro, had briefing with different media podcasts, and where he makes a statement accusing myself and my family that we satellite his church. He further told the media that he is owning many firearms and that everybody knows that that statement alone threatened me and my family. We live in fear. When we walk at the mall, the people are threatening us, saying that we burned their church to ashes. I don't feel comfortable with Pastor Mboro mentioning my name and that of my family on social media. Your Worship, the statement has been signed by the deponent and so commissioned.
Okay. So what was the name that was mentioned in this broadcast?
Court, Your Worship, my complainant is before Court, Your Worship, Mrs. Malaza. Can I call him perhaps, Your Worship?
You can call. Let's verify the facts.
Oh, Your Worship, I'm informed that only the sister is here now, Your Worship.
Yes.
The sister who also forms part of the family that will threaten the Worship as they walk.
Where is the investigating officer?
He's present, he's here, Your Worship.
When you consult with the investigating officer, did he verify the facts as the investigating officer to try and find out whether what the complainant is referring to is actually the truth or it's just the fact that is mentioned? I'm addressing the prosecutor. You can consult with the investigating officer. But did he do that?
His Worship, seeing that it's a tea break,
Yes.
can we just adjourn for tea, Your Worship, so that he can jot down all the, as per the dates, Your Worship, the name of the person?